turns again sharply to look at him. He closes his eyes, then opens them again. Collected me from school. When? Marco shrugs. A couple of times. Towards the end of term. And you didn't tell me? He told me not to. Fuck, Marco. Fuck! She punches the ground with her fists. What happened? Where did he take you? Nowhere. Just sort of walked with me. And? And what? What did he say? What is he doing? Nothing. Just on holiday. With his wife. And where is he now? Still here. He's here for the whole summer, in the house. The house? Yes. God, Marco, why didn't you tell me before? Because I knew you'd go mental. I'm not going mental. Look at me. Totally not mental. Totally just sitting here on the hard, wet ground under a flyover with nowhere to sleep, while your father is a mile up the road living in the lap of luxury. Why would I go mental? Sorry, he tuts. You said you never wanted to see him again. That was when I wasn't sleeping under a motorway. So, you do want to see him again? I don't want to see him, but I need a way out of this mess, and he's the only option. At the very least, he can pay to get my fiddle back. Oh yeah, 'cause then we'll be really rich, won't we? Lucy clenches her hands into fists. Her son always puts the unpalatable bottom line into words, then slaps her around the face with it. It's the middle of July. All the UK and German schools will be breaking up about now. There'll be twice as many tourists. It shouldn't take long to make enough to get to the UK. Why can't you ask Dad to pay for us to go? Then we can just go. I really want to go to London. I want to get away from here. Just ask Dad to pay. Why can't you? Because I don't want him to know we're going. No one can know we're going. Not even Meme, okay? He nods. Okay. His chin falls against his chest, and she sees the clumps of matted hair that have formed at the back of his head in the week that they've been homeless. Her heart aches, and she cups her hand around the back of his slender boy neck, squeezes it gently. I'm so sorry, my lovely boy, she says. I'm so sorry about everything. Tomorrow we'll see your father, and then everything will start getting better, I swear. Yes, he snaps, but nothing will ever be normal, will it? No, she thinks to herself. No, it probably won't.
Chapter 6. Birdie came first. Birdie Dunlop Evers. My mother had met her somewhere or other. At a do. Birdie played the fiddle in a pop band called The Original Version, and was, I suppose, vaguely famous. There'd been a jangly single that had almost got to #1, and they'd been on Top of the Pops twice. Not that I cared much about such things. I never really liked pop music, and the deification of celebrities slightly disgusts me. She was sitting in our kitchen, drinking tea out of one of our brown mugs. I jumped slightly when I saw her there. A woman with long, thin hair down to her waist, men's trousers tied round with a belt, a striped shirt and braces, a long grey overcoat and green fingerless gloves. She looked so wrong in our house, I thought. The only people who came to our house wore hand-stitched suits and bias-cut satin. They smelled of Christian Dior aftershave and Lierre du Temps. Birdie glanced up at me as I walked in. Small blue eyes with thin pencil lines of eyebrow above. A hard mouth, which didn't close quite properly, over a row of small teeth. A rather weak chin that appeared to have buckled under the joylessness of her face. I thought she might smile, but she didn't. "Henry," said my mother, "this is Birdie, the lady I was telling you about from the pop group." "Hello," I said. "Hello," she replied. I couldn't make sense of her. She sounded like my head mistress, but looked like a tramp. "Birdie's group want to use the house to film a pop video," said my mother. I admit, at this point, I did have to feign disinterest somewhat. I held my features straight and said nothing, heading silently to the biscuit barrel on the counter for my daily back-from-school snack. I selected 2 malted milks and poured myself a glass of milk. Then, and only then, did I say, "When?" "Next week," said Birdie. "We had a location chosen, but they had a flood or some such disaster. Boof. Cancelled." "So I said, come and look at our house, see what you think," my mother continued. "And here I am. And here she is." I nodded casually. I wanted to ask when they were coming, and could I take the day off school, and could I help? But I was not then, and never have been, a person to show enthusiasm for anything. So I dipped my malted milk biscuit in my milk, the exact way I always did, just to the T in malted, where the end of the standing cow meets the end of the lying down cow, and ate it silently. "I think it's brilliant," said Birdie, gesturing around her. "Better than the other place, in fact. Just perfect. I think there'd be things to sign." She rolled her eyes. "You know, waivers, etc., in case we set fire to your house."